Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to another recorded lecture na pag-uusapan natin kung saan ang chemistry. Right now, we're focusing on the topic colligative properties. Now, one of the things that you have to remember regarding the colligative properties is we must always calculate what you call the Van't Hoff factor. Ano nga po ba ang Van't Hoff factor? Si Van't Hoff factor po is one of the properties ng isang solution. Nakakapekto siya gaano kataas or kababa ang kanyang colligative. Yung kanyang freezing point, boiling, vapor pressure, and osmotic pressure. Okay? Ngayon, ano nga po ba si Van't Hoff factor? Paano po ba natin siya kinukuha? Si Van't Hoff factor kasi, isa lang bagay na kailangan mo tandaan dyan. Pag pinag-usapan si Van't Hoff factor, ang kailangan mo tandaan, ilang ions kaya ang mabibilang ko kapag naghiwalay ang isang solute per molecule. Ilang ions kaya sa isang molecule ang maghihiwalay kapag po ibinabad ko siya sa solvent. Okay? And it is denoted as letter I or tilde. Yan. Tilde. Okay, this one is a tilde. This is the letter I that refers to the Van't Hoff factor. Okay? Now, paano po ba, sir? How, I don't get it. Taray, di ba? I don't get it. Ganda lang yan. For example, if you have a salt, NaCl, tapos binabad mo siya sa tubig. Okay? So, it's supposed to be an aqueous solution. So, H2O. Ngayon, instead of a whole molecule na NaCl, binabad mo nga siya sa tubig, therefore, mag-ionize siya. Or, again, tinatawag natin dissociation. No, that's the same, synonymous word. Okay? Now, maghihiwalay yung cation tsaka anion. Magiging Na plus Cl. Now, kung bibilangin natin, Na plus, tapos chlorine negative. Now, kung bibilangin natin yung number of cations and anions sa product, that is the that will be the Van't Hoff factor ng ating solution. Okay? For example, tingnan niyo yung sa product side nitong ating equation. Nakikita natin na balance lahat, therefore, meron kang 1 cation and 1 anion. So, kung may tig-isa ka pong cation and anion, add mo lang lahat yon, the Van't Hoff factor would be 2. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, sa isang NaCl, isang mole ng NaCl, the number of dissociated ions will be 2. Ganun lang siya kadali. Okay? That's how we calculate the Van't Hoff factor. In getting the Van't Hoff factor, syempre, meron ka pa rin mga exemptions and the things that you need to remember. Okay? Pero, meron ka lang tatlong bagay na kailangan tandaan dito before we calculate anything muna. Number 1 is that all non-electrolytes, lahat daw ng mga non-electrolytes, ang kanilang Van't Hoff factor is always equals to 1. Okay? Lahat ng mga non-electrolytes such as sugar, alcohol, or mostly hydrocarbons, ang kanilang Van't Hoff factor would always be equals to 1. Okay? Number 2, the strong electrolytes, commonly karamihan sa mga strong electrolytes, always 100% ang kanilang dissociation. So, yung mga ions nila must be in whole numbers. So, we can say that the I would also be more than 1. Okay? Kailangan hindi siya maging 1 because that is only for the non-electrolytes. So, the value of a strong electrolyte po would be more than 1. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, depende yan sa kung ilang ions ang makikita mo sa isang compound. Okay? And for the next part is for weak electrolytes. Si weak electrolytes, hindi naman siya 100% na dissociated katulad ni strong electrolyte. So, gumagamit tayo dito ng degree of dissociation lang. So, probably, ilan lang kaya ang dissociated sa isang molecule? 50% lang ba siya? 25%? So, depende. So, we cannot actually, the idea here is hindi kasi siya totally lahat na-dissociate katulad ni strong electrolyte. So, that's why we use another formula to represent how many dissociated ions kaya ang naghihiwalay dito sa mga weak electrolytes natin. So, ginagamit na natin siya na another formula. So, I is equals to 1 plus A multiplied by N minus 1. Where the A is represented by the degree of dissociation, while the N represents the actual ions dissociated. Okay? So, mamaya titingnan natin kung paano siya ginagamit. So, let us focus muna. Paano nga po ba kinukuha ang Van't Hoff factor ng mga non-electrolytes and electrolytes? Later, mag-proceed tayo dito. Remember, pagka non-electrolytes, ang kanilang Van't Hoff factor is always equals to 1. So, that includes all substances that are alcohol, karamihan sa mga hydrocarbons. Though, may mga exemptions it's not always. And another thing is sugar. Ayan. Examples of non-electrolytes na ang Van't Hoff factor is always equals to 1. Okay? Now, what about sa mga strong electrolytes, sir? Paano po ba natin kinukuha ang Van't Hoff factor ng mga strong electrolytes? Okay. So, dito meron tayong sample problem. Kukunin natin yung Van't Hoff factor ng mga strong electrolytes. So, ibig sabihin dyan po, yung mga given na 1 to 5 na substance are strong electrolytes. Ibig sabihin po niyan, kapag binabad natin siya sa tubig, possible siyang mag-conduct ng electricity. Okay? Now, paano po ba natin siya kinukuha, sir? So, ganito lang kasi yan. Ang technique dito, gagawin mo siyang decomposition reaction. Okay? So, ginagamitan natin muna kasi ito, di ba, ng crisscross method para maging compound yung mga cation ions and anions. So, sa decomposition reaction, binabaliktad lang natin yung process. Ibinabalik natin siya from compound to ions. Diba? Ang crisscross method kasi ginagamit natin siyang pang pagbuo ng mga compounds. Ngayon, yung compounds na to, kailangan natin paghiwalayin para makita natin yung number of ions. Therefore, we have to represent the compound into a decomposition reaction. Or gagawin natin siyang balance equation through a decomposition reaction. Paano nga ulit ang decomposition reaction, sir? If you recall, ang decomposition reaction is represented by AB producing A plus B. So, pinapakita lang dito na naghiwalay yung compound mo into ions, individual ions. So, same way sa gagawin natin dito. So, from the potassium nitrate, magdi-decompose yung A and B na yan, A and B, into potassium plus NO3. Okay? Ibabalik natin ngayon yung charges na meron sila nung compound into its actual charges. So, kung meron kang potassium dito, that will become positive. Yung nitrate naman magiging negative 1. So, tingnan ngayon natin kung balance ba yung equation. Potassium 1, nitrogen 1, oxygen 3, oxygen 3. So, pantay na lahat. Therefore, balance equation, there's no need for you to adjust anything. Next is bilangin naman natin ilan yung number of ions kaya dun sa product. Bilangin down natin lahat ng cation and anions. Ang cation dito sa product na to would be the potassium. Meron naman tayong automatic na 1 dyan and 1 para sa nitrate. Therefore, ang Van 't Hoff factor ni potassium nitrate would be 2. Okay? Dalawa kasi yung magdi-dissociate po once na nilagay natin siya sa solvent. Dalawang ions sa maghihiwalay. Okay? Now, let us do the same with the number 2. Now, feel free to pause the video para masundan mo din siya. So, ang gagawin lang natin dito, i-identify natin si calcium carbonate kung sino ba yung A and B. The A and B would be, the A is calcium, B si carbonate. Ngayon, pag hiwalayin natin siya, magiging calcium plus CO3. Hala sir, bakit po hindi ko sinama yung 2 dun sa CO3? Remember that the 2 represents the charge of calcium. So therefore, the calcium has a positive 2 charge. Okay? While the carbonate has a negative 1. Kasi 1 lang naman yung nakalagay dun. Okay? Now, since we've already identified the charges and sino yung A and B, now, tignan natin kung balance ba ang equation. If you look at calcium, calcium has 1 on the reactant, while calcium on the product has 1 also. So, wala tayong papakilaman dyan. But what about the carbon? Si carbon on the reactant has a 2 subscript. Kasi 2 times 1 yan eh. Dito, 1 lang. So, therefore, we have to adjust a coefficient. So, magiging 2 times 1, 2. Sa oxygen, madadamay 2, 4, 6. And 2, 4, 6. So, pantay na lahat. Ibig sabihin yan, kung bibilangin natin lahat ng number of cations and anions, the total Van 't Hoff factor would be 3. Kasi 1 cation plus 2 anion. That is the Van 't Hoff factor of a calcium carbonate. Now, proceed tayo dito sa another substance. We have another substance which is the ammonium chloride. O, gawin natin ulit siyang decomposition reaction. So, moving forward with an arrow to a product, maghihiwala yung ammonium chloride, magiging NH4 plus chlorine. Okay? Since wala namang subscript yung sa chlorine, it becomes the charge of the ammonium. Si ammonium naman, wala rin naman tong subscript outside of a parenthesis. Therefore, that would be a negative charge of the chlorine. Ngayon, bilangin natin yung number of cations and anions kung balance na ang equation. Kung titingnan mo, balance naman ang equation, therefore, wala na akong kailangan pang baguhin pa. So, therefore, the Van 't Hoff factor of this ammonium chloride is 1 cation, 1 anion, therefore, you have 2 Van 't Hoff factor. Now, let's proceed to another substance. We have the magnesium chlorate. So, alam naman natin, maghihiwalay ulit sila from AB, magiging A plus B. So, magiging magnesium plus chlorate. Okay? Magnesium charge niya ngayon would be positive 2, while the chlorate would be negative. Tingnan ngayon natin kung balance equation. Kung hindi, therefore, mag-adjust tayo ng mga coefficient. Magnesium, walang problema. But for chlorate, meron. Kasi dito sa oxygen, 6 siya. Dito 3 lang. So, therefore, 2 ang coefficient for chlorate. Bilangin ngayon ilan yung ions na meron sa magnesium and chlorate. So, meron tayong 3. Therefore, the Van 't Hoff factor is 3. Okay? Now, let's have the number 5. Aluminum sulfate, magiging aluminum plus SO4. Okay? Charges of the SO4 would be negative 2, while for the aluminum, magiging positive 3. Okay? Kung hindi pa balance, let us balance the equation. Yung aluminum sa reactant may dalawa, therefore papalitan natin yung 1 into 2. While for the sulfate, meron kang 3 outside, therefore 3. Para pumantay lahat. So, we have a total of ions or the Van 't Hoff factor for this substance is going to be 5. Okay? So that's how you compute for the Van Hoff factor of a strong electrolyte. Remember this only applies to a strong electrolytes. Kasi when it comes to strong electrolytes, the reason why it's always a whole number is because it is always 100% dissociated. Ibig sabihin po niyan, yung ating mga solute, the number of solute that are dissociated is always in whole number. And now, ang Van Hoff factor natin is more than 1. Kaya kung titingnan mo po dito sa mga Van Hoff factors na nakuha natin, wala kang makikitang 1 dyan. It's always more than 1. Now, let us move on answering a Van Hoff factor naman, this time for a weak electrolyte. Okay? So, in this problem, remember, na tinitingnan na po natin this time would be the weak electrolytes. And remember, for weak electrolytes, ito lang kailangan yung tandaan dito. Ang Van Hoff factor ng mga weak electrolytes is, it's not going to be 1. No? Hindi po siya pwedeng maging 1. Hindi rin siya pwedeng maging whole number. Kasi, 100% is a whole number. So, therefore, hindi siya, usually, pinapakita to in decimal. Itong Van Hoff factor natin. Okay? Ayan. Now, let us solve a sample problem in getting a Van Hoff factor for a weak electrolyte. So, we have an aluminum sulfate that was dissociated only 50% daw. So, paano natin siya kukunin? Remember, in solving a Van Hoff factor for a weak electrolyte, ang ginagawa natin, we use a formula, which is 1 plus A multiplied by N minus 1. Ganon. Okay? So, paano po yun, sir? Ang gagawin mo na naman dyan, just follow the formula. Okay? But first, let us identify how many ions kaya dapat ang maghihiwalay talaga dito sa aluminum sulfate. Okay? So, let us first identify the letter N from the aluminum sulfate. Ang sabi dito, we have Al2 or aluminum 2 tapos SO4 3. So, maghihiwalay ito becoming Al plus SO4. Charge of the aluminum would be positive 3 while the sulfate is negative 2. If hindi siya balance, then let's add a coefficient 3 and then 2. So, balance sa lahat. Therefore, the Van Hoff factor is 5 or N is equals to 5. Ayun lang yun. Okay? Now, let us use the formula. Substitute mo na lang lahat na nakalagay dyan. I is equals to 1 constant plus A. Si A, remember, that's the degree of dissociation. Ilan percent ba kaya ang naghiwalay dito sa isang molecule ng aluminum sulfate? Ang sabi dito sa description, it's about 50%. So, therefore, that's about 0.5. Okay? 0.5 multiplied by N. What is the N or ilan yung actual dissociated kung naghiwalay lahat? Okay? So, that's going to be 5 minus 1. So, equals to, 1 plus 0.5 multiplied by or times 5 minus 1. Okay? Remember, to use the PEMDAS. Okay? Ulitin ko, gamitin nyo po yung PEMDAS kasi magbabago yung value ng ating letter I kung hindi mo gagamitin ng PEMDAS. Pag ginamit mo ang PEMDAS, the answer should be 3. Ayan po yung 50% ng Van Hoff factor of a aluminum sulfate that is a weak electrolyte. No? Sir, di ba 5 yun? 5 po yung whole 100% ng ating aluminum sulfate kapag po siya ay natunaw. But then again, remember, we've adjusted the formula. Meron kang 1, tas binawasan mo din siya ng 1. Okay, so it's not going to be 2.5 kung if ang tinatanong mo is the 50% of a 5. Kasi 'di ba 2.5 dapat 'yan. But then again, the answer is 3. That is the Van't Hoff factor of a aluminum sulfate na 50% dissociated. So that's how you calculate for the Van't Hoff factor.